What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And I was out of action yesterday. I couldn't talk particularly about Terra Luna Classic, so I'm making this video today. We are back, and I want to take a look at the Binance fees and equally everything that is going on, because it's time, well, we stood up and told Binance exactly how we feel about them. So if that's something you like the sound of, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and also leave a like on this video so everybody can see what's going on, and let's dive into it. So currently with Terra Luna Classic, we are trading in this channel around the 2268 range, just marginally up. We did try and break this channel not so long ago to the 23 on the upside, but we did get rejected, and it feels like we are still in this downward momentum. RSI is still trending slightly below the mid-limit average at 39.74, and the money flow, you can see there is quite a bit of money leaving Luna Classic. Now, everybody currently is nervous about the Binance situation. We've seen the staking slightly increased, not as much as we have seen, and equally the burn amount coming out of the 1.2% burn tax is down. Now, we know Binance have opened up an arm to give us an opportunity, both as holders and investors, to make a difference to that 1.2% burn tax, but we have to be mindful, I think is the best way of describing it. We do have to be mindful. It's CZ, it's a business, and ultimately, does he have to open it? Absolutely not, but I think the power of the community has changed his opinion, and I think it's down for us. Even if you just do it on one of your transactions, I think it's important that all of us commit to doing it. Now, a lot of people did move their funds off Binance. We saw a sharp decline. Over, I think it's about 0.4% of the total holding on Binance did get removed out. Now, we have to bear in mind there are now fees attached to this, so you have to be careful when doing that. We'll take a look at that in just 1 second. So when we look at the total number of burned under 1.2% burn tax today, we can see it's 78.6 million Luna Classic burn, which is actually one of our lowest since the start. We saw 380 million on the first day, 455 million on the second day, then we saw 288, and then today 76 at the time of recording this video. So we still have a bit of time to go, but it's still probably going to be around that 100 million mark, which, you know, we want to get to about a billion a day. Probably just feels like a good number to kind of get to us, but at the same time, we are still building. Hopefully we drop into the 6.8 very, very soon, but we do need to ramp up that volume. We do need to see significantly more going through that burn. So, you know, hopefully that kind of comes through. Now, the boycott Binance thing would be doing, I wouldn't be doing myself a disservice if I didn't talk about it. And I guess, look, for me, it's important that CZ has come back and changed his opinion. Do I think that that's going to change anything? I'm not sure. And I think ultimately, you know, it is a business. We have to be mindful of this. And what we don't want to do is become divided in a community. We've achieved so much in such a small space of time, and there is more to come, but it's only going to work if we are all aligned to the same vision and the same goal. Yes, it's good to get to stand up. Now, the ball's in our court to make a difference in terms of what we do on that platform. But remember, a lot of people have moved their funds off Binance, so we are kind of playing with danger right now to see kind of where that goes to. But ultimately, time is going to tell. Now, as of recording this video, the opt-in button is not available on Binance. I have about 25% of mine staked on there, on Binance, that I would trade with, and equally the rest of mine is then staked, as you all well know. And look, I'll be, as soon as I can, doing that 1.2% burn as we move, because actually the 1.2% burn in some cases is actually cheaper than Binance fees to move your funds both on and off. And I think, again, that just shows where CZ is with this. And remember, like I said, he is a businessman. We did get these tweets out from him. It says, a small one, if you force 1.2% tax on all users, you are centralized. I believe the opposite. Forcing a tax is centralized. High tax is greed. We protect our users. We let our users choose. And I think it's a really interesting point, because he is protecting his users, albeit he isn't by charging astronomical fees. I think that last point is 102,000 Lunic if you wanted to pull it off there. So it says here, we are letting our users vote for it. Move your Lunic to Binance to participate. Otherwise, it feels a bit like letting citizens of one country vote for taxes in a different country. No, and look, again, this is about trying to get people back onto the Binance platform, and ultimately, you know, getting people to trade on there for this 1.2% burn tax. So we're going to have to really wait and see, but this one's going to develop over time. What we need to be is tactful. We need to be aligned to the community opinion. And ultimately, I think it isn't the be all and end all if we don't have Binance. You know, the same could be said of, why don't we go after Coinbase? Why don't we try and get Coinbase to relist it? Remember, I talked about this in a previous video. They have only suspended as opposed to remove. So I do think it's important, but I think there is more to come. And just talking about fee rates from Binance, I thought it was worthwhile just taking a look at this. If you are either A, thinking about moving it off there, or equally thinking about trading it, bear in mind there is potentially that 1.2% burn tax. So selected BTC fares are 0%. other ones that you can see here, 0.07, which actually have come down from 0.1%. So you do have to be mindful when trading on Binance. Equally, it does come up at the bottom of the screen. So if you are trading Luna, or you want to move it off the exchange, or you're moving it onto it, just be mindful of potentially some of the fees. A lot of them tend to be attributed to the USDT pairing as opposed to the BUSD pairing. Remember, Binance wants you to use their native stablecoin because it keeps it in-house. It supports their liquidity and allows them to play with your money. So we have to be mindful of that. But ultimately, I think time is going to tell. We have come such a long way from the beginning. You know, we've collapsed once. Yes, we're down at the 2-3 level. If you're staked, though, for me, it's not a big of a worry. You know, we are seeing a little breakout now. Hopefully, we kind of see this momentum. But right now, there is a divide in the Luna community. Lots of people want to boycott Binance. Binance are trying to get us to come back in. I think, again, we need to be aligned to the goals. We need to keep that vision of what we want to do. We still have the repegging of USTC, which is going to be coming, hopefully, in the not too distant future. But ultimately, we have to, you know, keep our vision, keep our focus, and Luna Classic will succeed. But let me know down in the comments what you think. What do you think of the whole Binance thing? What do you think of the boycott Binance thing? Don't forget to leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you tonight on the live stream, 9 PM GMT.